G'day, g'day, g'day. This is Charlie, and I'm coming to you with your daily dose of business information. Topic number 224, the importance of boundaries. It might be that we're going to talk about office hours policies. I think we're going to talk about something a little bit more esoteric than that, but let's go with that to start with. As always, with my discussions and my podcasts, I would love to hear from you. If you think I'm saying things that are wrong or you disagree with, I would love to have a discussion with you in a mutually respectful manner, but I would love to have a discussion with you because that is how we all learn. By having differing opinions and airing them and being able to talk through them, we will all learn. So please leave comments on wherever you're watching or listening to this, or come across to my locals community, askcharlyleetham.locals.com, and join the conversation there. But today, what I want to talk about is how, as online business owners who provide services to others in general, we find sometimes that our boundaries aren't being respected. It might be that we actually have stated hours of operation, that we will work between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. or 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday or Monday to Thursday. And then at 4:30 p.m. we get a message from one of our clients saying, hey, I need this job done and I need it done by 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, or tomorrow, 9 a.m. tomorrow. And we're looking at the time going, well, that's a 3-hour job. It's 4:30. I was going to knock off in about 30 minutes and I don't start till 9, so that's not going to get done. But how many of us actually say that to our clients? How many of us actually say, I'd love to help you, but we don't have the time to get that done? Not many. Most of us will actually go, okay, I'll work the extra hours and I'll get it done. We don't charge any extra. We charge our standard rate. We don't charge an emergency fee or a urgency fee. And by the end of the next day, we're possibly a little miffed because we haven't really had any time out. We haven't been able to do what we needed to do. We haven't been able to enjoy the time that we're building these businesses to allow us to do. Just my thoughts. And I wanted to sort of go through that and go through some of the options we have available to us in handling that in a different way. We absolutely need to respect our own boundaries before we can expect anyone else to respect our boundaries. So if we aren't honest with ourselves about it's 6 p.m. and I'm knocking off now, and we're always going, it's okay, we'll just do an extra 10 minutes. It's fine. I'll make it up later. That is part of the issue. And it's not a part of the issue because you're doing it. I don't even have any problem that you are, but it puts you in that mindset that when the job from the client comes through, which I believe in our heads is the most important thing because that's what brings money through our door, we're like, well, we have to do that. We do it for ourselves, so why wouldn't we do it for them? They're the ones paying us. So we need to actually honor our own boundaries. Some actionable things that we can do is by setting defined office hours and actually sitting with them, being firm with them. And when someone comes in and says, I need this done by 9 a.m., say, well, I'm sorry, it's 4:30. This is going to take us a couple of hours. I can't start it for another half an hour at least, which is going to put me past my out of our office hours. What I can do is start at 9 and get it to you as soon as I can after 9 a.m. That then sets the tone of the conversation. Now, it should be a mutually respectful conversation. I'm not saying say no, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I agreed to. You do need to be respectful, but you do need to also be very firm. And I find if you say, I'm really sorry, well, not even I'm really sorry. Hi, thanks so much for the extra work. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to meet that deadline. What are our options? Our options, not your options. I can start this at 9 in the morning and have it to you as soon as I can. Or I could start earlier or work later, but there will be a fee to add on for the extra time that I've had to do this work. That's one of the first things you can do. The other thing that I'm going to suggest that people do is, I should never have original thoughts while I'm doing things. So we were talking about customizing your business hours and making sure that you've got your set hours, that you are prepared to do work with reasonable deadlines. Now that works as long as you're getting reasonable notice for the work that needs to be done. It's no use saying I only work till 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. and have someone drop something on you at 4:30 and say, I need this, and you work till 5, so you've got time to do it. Because honestly, you might not. If you are a virtual worker, if you are a virtual assistant or a support person or a bookkeeper, someone who works and does professional services type work, it is highly likely that you have got other work teed up. You've got other work queued up and you're working on something else. It's not that that piece of work comes in the door and you drop everything to start on that piece of work. You finish off the work you're doing and then schedule that piece of work into your workflow. It's not an immediate thing. We don't stop and start. We don't stop something to start something for someone else. In general, I'm not saying we don't do it ever, but I'm saying generally we don't. That is probably more key than setting your office hours as well. Your office hours will help, but I think that's more key is how do you take work in and how do you say to your client, yes, I can do it in this time? Most of us rely on email to get the work in and out. I would actually strongly recommend that if you are doing work like this, you have some form of system and tool that helps you look at what work is there and get it scheduled. You've got tools like, what are they? Asana, ClickUp, Monday.com. There's a whole heap of that they've all got free Trello. They've all got free tiers that you can go and try out and see if they work within and see if they work for you. I mean, some free tiers will work for most businesses pretty much out of the box. You don't need to upgrade immediately. You will need to upgrade eventually, I am sure, but you don't need to upgrade immediately. Put in place some form of task management / inverted commas project management tool. It's not real project management. I don't want to upset any project managers out there by saying they're project management tools because they really aren't. They're a cut down version of a project management tool at best, but they are excellent for managing your workflow. You can have your clients still email them in, but they go into your workflow tool, not into your inbox. That way they get seen. That way you can move them around and say, yes, I can fit them in here. I can do this. The other thing you need to do is be communicative. One of the first things you should be doing with your clients when you bring them on, in my opinion, is saying to them, yes, send me the work and I will let you know when I can schedule it. There's a slightly different tone there to, yes, send me the work and I'll get it done. Yes, send me the work and I will let you know when I can schedule it and whether I can meet your deadlines. Now, that means that you will have to run the risk that your client says, well, don't worry about it. I'll get someone else to do it. Okay. If you spend the time developing the relationship early and developing the trust between the two of you early, you will find that they'll go, yep, no worries. Let me know when you can get it done. If it is urgent, you will find that your clients come to you and say, look, this is urgent. I know it's going to take you, I know it's going to take outside of what we've contracted for or what our agreed terms and conditions are. Can you do it for me? I would really appreciate it. And that gives you the opportunity to say yes or no. It's no longer I need this by. It's a would you please do it? You can then go back and say, yes, I can. Per my contract, there's a fee of X to do emergency work. I don't know whether you have those in your contracts. I certainly do. There's a fee of X to do emergency work, and because I'll be working outside of my hours, there's an extra 5 or 10% or 20% on top of my fee to cover that. Now, how does that sit with you guys? Is that something that you think you can do? Is it something that you are comfortable saying to your customer, developing that dialogue to say to your customer? If not, you need to get good at it. You aren't employed by your customer. You are contracted. You run your own business. You have your own sets of priorities and draws on your time. And as much as you might love your clients and you love your customers, they also need to understand that there are boundaries, and this is one of them. This is a specific one. It's also really important, I think, as you start to develop that relationship with your client, is starting to understand their workflows, understand how they work. And I'm not, yeah, 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 I am saying that you might need to modify your own workflows for that specific client. We should all have standardized workflows. We should all have standardized processes. This comes in, we do this, we do that, we do the next thing. But you can have exceptions to those processes based on certain inputs or outputs. Your client's input is probably one of the things you want to consider in those exceptions. How do we handle this? When is their peak time? When do they normally delegate work to me? How do they like to be communicated with? How much lead time do they normally give me? How much notice time do they give me before I get to start a job or they want it done? In the early days, I'm going to say it's probably going to be rockier than later, mostly because you're both learning how to work together. And that in itself is a major thing, is once you work out how those workflows work, how the work comes in and how you communicate back. It's going to be rocky as you get into it, and you get more used to the client, and the client gets more used to you. It becomes, well, 80% of the time it becomes a doddle. 20% of the time you're wondering, why am I doing it? The other thing that you might want to consider is on your email signatures and your websites actually having what your office hours are. So I've actually seen it with a couple of subcontractors, people that I actually subcontract work to. They say my office hours are Tuesday to Thursday, 10 till 4. And I know that I can contact them 10 till 4, Tuesday to Thursday, and expect a response back. I can contact them outside of those hours, but I don't expect a response back until Tuesday to Thursday. If I don't hear from them, they'll normally get a phone call saying, "Hey, did you see my email? You probably got a whole heap in." But putting it on your email signatures is a good way. Putting it on your website is a good way. I also put it into my contracts. I provide service between these hours, Eastern Standard Time. Anything outside of those, I may consider work, but there is a fee of X% added to it to cover that, to cover the fact that it's out of office hours. You should potentially, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't use it, so there you go. Automated responses for out of office hours saying, "Hey, I'll be back on deck at these times." I'm not sure that works so much, because a lot of clients just sort of send off emails and then don't check the responses, or say they've got a response and go, "Cool, they're working on it," but it's not. It's just the automated response saying, "Yeah, I won't be working on this until I get to the office." Certainly, I would recommend that if you have a phone that switches through to voicemail or an answering service, the script on that says, "Yes, I will be back at X time, and I will look at your phone calls and get back to you sometime after that." The other thing is setting those expectations. You notice all the time I've been doing this, I've been setting expectations. It's not, "Yes, I will get back to you straight away." It's, I will respond to your call after this time. So you're setting an expectation that you are not going to jump to. You're not going to be always immediately responsive. You need to be responsive, you need to be communicative, but you don't need to drop everything immediately to go and answer their questions. I saw recently that people are like, "You didn't answer my phone call." Well, no, I didn't. Well, why not? You've got your phone with you. Well, yeah, but I don't have to answer my phone. I was actually talking to someone. I've got my phone with me, but I was talking to someone, and that's more important. It's a relatively new phenomenon, whatever, that people expect an immediate response. I remember being, yeah, I know I'm old, Gen X, I'm old. I remember, you'd ring and you'd leave a message on an answer phone. This is in the days we had answer phones even, and you wouldn't expect a response immediately. It might be a day or two before someone actually got back to you. It, this idea of someone sends you a message and they expect a response straight away is bizarre, and we need to make sure that we are managing those expectations. That, yeah, no, I'm not going to respond immediately. I might see your message, but I'm not going to respond immediately because I'll be doing something else. So setting those boundaries, setting the expectations for your clients to understand that this is where you are, this is what you do, and this is how you do it. You need to be communicative. I'm not saying don't be. Even if it one of the great things that I found is a message back saying, I have seen your message. Yep, I will get to it. I have got several things that I've got scheduled at the moment. You are on my list. Now, I have developed the relationship with my clients to be able to do that, however. Setting up, oh, yes, that's the other one. I do have my notes here, so I'm always going through my notes, making sure I've covered off the things. Using your technology to your advantage is another thing. So I've already spoken about using an online tool to do your task management, your project management. I use an online booking system. Someone wants time with me. Yep, go and book a time in my calendar. Oh, none of those times suit me. Well, that's what I've got available at the moment. I don't have anything else available until when's the next time that suits you? Next week? Well, then that's what it's going to have to be. Now, yes, I have exceptions to those rules. Some of you would have experienced some of those exceptions to those rules, but that's the general gist of it, is that these are the times I have available. This is when I can fit you in. It also allows me to say, no, you can't just book a meeting today for at 3 a.m. for 9 a.m. this morning, because that's not going to work. I've got other things I've planned for 9 a.m. already. Turning off your notifications outside of work hours. I don't know if you use the do not disturb functions on your technology on your phone. I've got a do not disturb function. It goes on a bit later of an evening, so sometimes I do still get messages from clients and subcontractors saying we need help. It's up to me whether I respond to those or not after in that time. But after a certain time, my do not disturb goes on. I don't get any notifications. I've set it up so that only certain people can call me, can call through that during those times, and they know, people know that I'll get back to them. I've trained them that there is the trust there that I will get back to them. And finally, delegate your urgent matters. Get yourself your own VA if you need to. Spend a couple of dollars every month to have someone be able to go through your email on a daily basis, find the things that need addressing, let you know, even if you train them how to send back responses on your behalf so that you can get on and do what you want. You're not going to lose anything by doing that. It is going to cost you a little bit of money, but you're not going to lose anything by doing that. And the likelihood is that you're going to gain more because, again, you're developing that trust. Okay, this was a long one. I find setting boundaries is a big one. I wanted to really go through some of the things that work for me. I'm not going to say that this is something that I am perfect at. I'm so far from perfect. It's not funny. Yes, there are times that I'll go, okay, I will do this fine. And then there are times I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm out. I'm leaving in 5 minutes and I won't be back until the day after tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever. And I will get to it then. And normally they're like, yeah, no worries, we're off anyway. We're gonna take time out anyway. We just wanted to get it into your books so that you know it's there when you get back. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, what do you guys think? What works for you? What doesn't work for you? Where can I help you? Is there something I can help you in terms of practicing those scripts when you're talking to people, developing the scripts and the wording and practicing the delivery of them so that it doesn't sound so firm and horrible and yucky, but sounds like you really do care, but you're also looking after yourself? Is that something I can help you with? I would love to. but let me know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you disagree, if you agree, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. It's all good. Conversation is fantastic. Please, please, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell as well. We all get busy. I drop this content every day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Australian Eastern Standard Time. And we all get busy, and you might forget that you've got to go and listen to me rabbit on for the day. With a notification, we'll put it up on your phone. You can hit play and listen to me while you're driving, while you're doing the dishes, while you're working. See what lands for you. Thank you so much, guys. I will talk to you all tomorrow. As I said, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day of the week. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the power of patience, and I'm thinking about how I'm going to deliver that one, but I might go back to one of my dog training analogies for that. All right, guys. Bye.